guys, and happy Sunday. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And today I just want to talk about not being afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away from relationships, situationships, jobs that don't serve you, or anything, friends that don't work, something that doesn't serve you. Don't be afraid to walk away. And the reason I say that is because sometimes it's extremely hard to see a future without people or the job that you've been, used to or accustomed to. But if you staying in a situation or workplace is destroying your mental health, your physical health, your emotional well-being, then it is not worth you staying. No matter how hard or how it is, you are always better off walking away. Trust me, you are always better off walking away. Sometimes the hardest climbs gives you the best, the beautiful views. So the beautiful views come from the hardest climbs, and sometimes you have to have a hard climb in order to see that beautiful view. And I'm talking from experience. I'm not just, saying things out of nowhere, because I've had some really, really tough times, as most people do. I think that is our life journey. And I just want to encourage you to be brave and be bold and try and just get out there and take a step out of your comfort zone. So when you decide to walk away, you are making a commitment to yourself. You are committing to yourself, and you are detaching from that thing that does not serve you. So you're not committed to that person. You're committing to yourself. Also, when you're walking away, you are making a very bold statement by saying that, what you're doing or how this is working is non-negotiable. And you're making a statement. You're saying, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm moving on and I'm walking away. And this is especially important in all circumstances, like work and relationships. But I just want to also just touch on something regarding relationships. I have heard a lot. It's all like social media. I've read it, I've seen it and stuff like that, where people talk about walking away in a relationship in order to get the person you're walking away from to chase you. I don't believe in that for 1 second. The reason why I don't like that kind of message is because, for me, the fact that you are going through emotional turmoil says a lot about that character. And the minute you walk away and they start chasing you, they're just game players. That is a person who likes to gameplay and mind F you, because that is exactly what they're doing. So anyone who preaches that, I don't believe in, because that person, if they're really for you, they will make the effort to meet you halfway and do exactly as you are doing for them. But if you find yourself overexerting yourself, doing things that you shouldn't be doing, always being the one to do stuff, that person is not for you. So in order to leave, you leave for good. You do not turn back. You do not go back to a relationship that wasn't working, because that's not the relationship for you. And even if that person chases you, I may be wrong, but I have seen friends who have gone back. I've come from a broken relationship. I'm in a stable relationship now. I've come from a broken relationship, and my broken relationship, when I was out, I never looked back. And I actually went for counseling because I needed help to break that cycle of maybe trying to go back, because I was distraught. I was, in a sense of, this has happened. Am I this or am I that? But the counseling, it opened my eyes to something I'd never actually seen before. And I suddenly realized, no, this man is not good for me. How he's making me feel. He was very passive aggressive. He was just like, okay, it's my fault he's behaving a certain way. And you can tend to believe that. So if I had, and he did try to come back, but by that time I did not want him. But my question is, why would I take someone back who did that to me? Just because he said he's changing doesn't mean he's changed. Unless that person is willing to do the work and the change, then yeah, maybe in the future. But I tell you what, a left doesn't change its spots, because My ex-partner is exactly the way he is still today. It's the same. And it is a drain to you, and you lose your self-respect. You lose who you are because you're no longer making decisions for yourself. You're making decisions based on the other person and what they want. And that will bring me to a point where when you do decide to walk out or be brave enough to walk away, you will stop focusing on that external thing. So you stop focusing on that negative job, that negative person, because when you're in a relationship that or a work that is emotionally draining, your priority, your focus is always on that. I know I used to be like that. If something is draining me or whatever, my focus is always on that, and that kind of clouds my judgment. It doesn't get me to a place where I want to be, so I'm stuck in that cycle of being in this job, and it clouds it, and it makes you feel like you can't do anything. You feel stuck, and the only reason you feel stuck is because of your mind. Your mind is occupied by that thing and that person, and you need to eliminate that person, that job. You need to eliminate in order to clear your head and get into a space of different thinking. I'll give you an example. I used to work in a job that was fine, but it just didn't fit with me. And so I was basically going to a job where I just didn't like it. And on a Sunday, I'd fail. I started to feel low. I started to feel depressed. I didn't want to go. I just felt, having headaches. It started to manifest in physical ways. And I just felt depressed. And my whole Sunday was lost because all I did was focus on the Monday that actually hadn't even happened. And that was a horrible place for me to be. I did not enjoy that one bit. I absolutely hated it. Eventually, I left that job, and I'm so grateful I did. And I went in to start doing a lot of writing for myself, which worked out for 2 years, and then it didn't. But my point is, I got free of that cycle. The Sunday was just horrendous for me. Sunday was depression day. Friday was, oh yeah, and then Saturday. And so I had one day out of all the 7 where I felt, oh, at least but then Sunday came along and it was just like, oh, I can't deal with it. And that's not life. That's not good. That's not healthy, emotionally not healthy. So when I did leave and I started working for myself, even though I worked morning till midnight to whatever, I had a sense of purpose. I had a sense of where I was. I enjoyed what I was doing, and it made my life so much better. So I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going there, but I had my life. And then I went on to do something else because the where I was not working and stuff like that. My job, my business wasn't making enough money, so I ended up having to, so I was training as well at the time. I was doing a degree. And when it comes to people, I realized again, so I had gone to counseling with about my ex-partner, and that counseling did a lot for me. It helped me grow. It helped me understand certain things and certain behaviors and why. And then I was studying psychology, a degree, and that also helped me improve. And then I did a lot of things after my divorce as well. I worked, with the Samaritans. I did work with hospice. I did a lot of work with crisis centers, and I did a lot of that. And that just broadened and opened my mind and of how I was and how I was with certain people. And that will bring me to, sometimes you might feel it's like difficult to change or to move or to walk away. And I get that. It's hard. You can't just walk away from a job because your next question or fear is, how will I support myself? Which makes a lot of sense. Even walking away from a relationship, you might say, yeah, but then I have one income and this might happen and this might happen. However, if you continue in the cycle that does not serve you, eventually you will the relationship will break up, or you might get fired, because somewhere something is going to give. You might get fed up. There's people who just get to the point where they just can't do it anymore, and they break and they flip, and that's what happens. So sometimes take control of your own life and make the changes. I'll give you another example of my working life. So I worked with so I started doing bank. So as I was doing my job, my business, I started working bank so I could pick and choose, when I wanted to work, how I wanted to work, because I had my daughter, she was still young at the time. So here I go. I started doing bank working with some services with mental health. I absolutely loved the service users. I absolutely loved them. I absolutely loved what it represented and how I did. So there was a new service that started. So I used to go there because that's where they needed the bank staff the most. The manager approached me and said, would you like to, go full time? And I said, I'd like to. However, I'm studying and I'm doing my business, so it might be a bit difficult. And she said to me, I can work around that, because you had to do so many hours to be full time, because they were like, you needed to do so many hours. So we worked out a plan. 1 week I would work a day, and the next week I would work a night shift, but I would work on specific days every week. And she said she would rota me in that she'll keep on rotating me in so that I could do the full time, do my studies, do my stuff. So I thought, okay, sounds all right, because I'll be able to do 2 days, and then I can do 3 nights and stuff like that, because it's very long shifts. The first thing that happened, so the job I love, but the person, unfortunately, the manager, had other things going on. So I'm going to tell you the story so you understand what I mean, like sometimes making decisions how you can move out of a certain situation. So the first thing that happened with this particular manager is we had a crisis, and it was a Sunday, and we have on call, which is fine. I couldn't phone on call about this crisis because on call, they have no clue about the particular service user that I was needing to talk about. So I needed to talk to the manager. She's the manager. She's paid to be the manager. So I had to contact her. It was a crisis. The response to her, because I sent a text so instead of phoning her out of nowhere, I sent a text like, this is the and the way in which she responded to me, not only was she rude, she was disrespectful. She was saying, this is my time and stuff. And I just took a step back, and it was like a blow. And I'm thinking, okay, she's the manager. She had also put me in a position at one point to be dealing with people that she should have been dealing with, like, the NHS and just the council, and making financial decisions for particular people. So I sat there on this interview that wasn't my pay grade, and so she answered me in such a way that I found really disturbing. So the next day, on Monday, I sat down with her and I said, because I am that person that I can accept that you are on the weekend and nobody just disturbs you just because this is a new service, and because it was a crisis, and because on call would have no clue what to do, I had to contact you, and even if you didn't want your response was absolutely out of this world, and I was not having it. And I told her, and when we were sat face to face, she acknowledged that she was wrong, which was fine. She apologized and she started crying, but then I thought, okay, maybe it was just a bad day. And this is what I mean about people's personalities. Once they show you who you are, just believe them. Is that Maya Angelou says that? Because she's telling you the truth. If someone shows you who they are, believe them, believe them, believe them. That is who they are. So I let that bit go, okay? Then she started doing bits and pieces and shouting at other people. And I started seeing this. No, this is a character. This is her character. But the thing that made me make a decision, because this would be now the second time, that made me make the decision to walk away from a job I actually liked. But I needed to walk away from her negativity, from her disrespect, from the way she was just before we got into Christmas. So I'd started this job, I think it was May, June. And around Christmas time, we got our rota a month in advance. So she had decided how she was going to do the rota. Bear in mind, I had agreed to what kind of days I needed, and then I was told that I needed to take some leave in order to, so that I don't lose it. So with that in mind, and the fact that the rota is standard to me, I asked for my leave, she approved it, and then she did the rota. But the rota in which she did it was just not right, kind of tried to confuse me. So she hadn't really given me leave, because my off days were my off days. So when I asked her this via email, because that's what she had done, she turned around and said, "Don't you dare question me." Like, okay. When I need you to do something along the lines, I need you to do that. So do not question me. And the fact that you've questioned me, I will be meeting you at the office for a verbal warning. I thought, this woman has lost the plots. She has lost it, you know. And when I explained it to my colleagues, they were like, "What's wrong with her?" I said, "I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I'm not doing this with her anymore." So I responded, "I am not coming to the office for a verbal one because I've not done anything wrong. If you want to see me, we'll meet at the service and we can talk, but I'm not turning up. You'll have that meeting alone." And that minute, that day, when I got that snotty email, I made a decision that I'm going. So I hadn't have a job. So what I'm trying to say is that when you have a plan, make a plan. Even if you don't have one while you're still in that other situation, start having a plan. So defocus, get off, take your mind, force your mind off the person and the situation, and start focusing on you. What do I want? What do I want to do? How am I going to go about it? And that's what I did. I went on Indeed and I looked for another job, and I found a job that was agency, and I thought, I'm going to give this a try. I phoned them, they phoned me back. I went for an interview, they phoned me back, they wanted me on. I started doing training. I did training, and then I went on a shift while I was still working at that place, and I hadn't said anything yet. I went there, I loved it. I liked the person, I liked the people, and I liked what I was seeing. So what I did, I gave in my resignation, I handed in my resignation, and I left with that job already secured. So what you can do is, if you don't want to walk away straight away, because you can't, you do need a plan. If it's a job, try and look for another one. You will find it, because that job that I finally went in was amazing. I actually stayed there for 3 years. I got pregnant, and then it kind of dismantled because it was a family company, couldn't sustain it anymore financially, but it was the best thing I ever did for myself. And that's what I mean. Doors will open for you. So unfocus, take your focus off the negative people, off the negative relationships, off the negative job for a while. Like, refocus yourself. What do I want to do? Do I want to be in this job? No, I do not want to be in the job. So what am I going to do to get out of this job? I'm going to start applying for different jobs. I'm going to see if that works. I'm going to see if there's something that actually suits me. What about if you're in a relationship that you don't like and you want to get out of there? You slowly but surely, you can do certain things. Like, for example, I know she's a distant family member. She secretly started putting money away. And when she was ready, she left. She left, and it was a shock to the person, because it's like, okay. So have a plan and go. Leave. It will be the best thing you do for yourself, because you will grow. You will get to places you never thought you'd get to, because you're not focusing all your energy on things that just don't serve you. So yeah, be brave and be bold and get out of there and walk away. Don't be afraid. Just, take it one day at a time. Plan your exit route and go, because I promise you will find better. You will grow, you will be more energetic, and you'll just seem to have more ideas. And you wonder, oh, why didn't I think of that? The reason why you didn't think of it was because your mind was occupied by the negative person and the thing. So guys, thank you for listening. I did rattle on a lot longer than I thought I would, but I hope it helps somebody. I really do, because I'm really out to inspire this year. I'm feeling like it's a good thing to inspire people, to make them feel like they can do things. And I hope that I have made you think about it, at least, because that's the first step. And take that jump, that leap of faith. And that's what it is, a leap of faith. And believe that, you know what, God, whoever, is going to help you through. And they will just trust and find faith. Anyway, guys, bye for now. Have a good day. And I'll see you in my next video. Please subscribe so I can keep on doing these videos. Bye for now.